It's true. They're gonna hear you. Huh? They're gonna get you going. And get you started. What do you think? Maybe you'll eat for folks? Have a little breakfast? I know. Everyone can hear you. So loud. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live with Maeve. I'll be trying to get a few words in edgewise. Thank you. So if you guys want to just sign in, let me know where you're tuning in from. We've been absolutely amazed at how far across the country folks are coming from. So it's really exciting to hear everybody tuning in. Elise, good morning. Teresa, good morning. Perry, good morning. Jessica, good morning. Sydney, oh, thank you, Sydney, so much. Elise, is this a youngster? Well, we'll just get right into it, shall we, young lady? I like it. Yeah, we'll start. So this is Maeve, and she is a merlin falcon. She is not a youngster. She came to, well, she's ish. Ooh, from Woburn, Mass. I grew up in Newton. Welcome, Patty. Thanks for joining us. Perry, Framingham, Mass. Absolutely. All down by Newton as well. Andy, good morning. Yes, usually cats and dogs do not like her call very much. Good morning, Christine from Exeter. She is very talkative. She does have a lot to say. Part of that is, I know, I'm going to tell them, okay? So part of that is because she is a merlin falcon. Hi, Kimberly from Saco, and good morning from Brandy and Maine. These guys, they're sort of the chihuahua of the bird world, if you will. They don't know that they are small. Good morning, Kim Chris. She is beautiful. And she has a lot to say. So there's a lot of posturing. There's a lot of attitude, a lot of sass. But basically what we think she's saying when she's chatting like that is, I know. Oh, did you see Andrew go by? Yeah, they're going to go feed over there. What's he doing? He's going to go feed. Good job. She's basically just chatting. She's sort of like, hey, have you seen me? Look at me. I'm a merlin. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. Check me out. It's a little bit of a chatter, and it's kind of exciting to listen to her. We could certainly probably break her of the habit, but we don't want to. It's kind of amazing. Sully from Hyde Park, Vermont, thank you so much. It's so great to see you. And Zoe, good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us. So we're here at the Center for Wildlife in Cape Nettic, Maine. This is Maeve. She is a merlin falcon. And she came to us in 2017 and came to us after she was struck by a vehicle. Unfortunately, you're so talkative. That's very common with our animals. Usually, I think it's about half of our intakes come from automobile collisions. Unfortunately, we build more roads and there's more people and there's more cars and everything going along. And so one way that we tell folks, it can be a little disheartening, right? Like there's so much to do. I know, I feel the same way. You know, where do you start to help wildlife? Well, one thing you can start, I used to throw apple cores. This is important. Banana peels, like my kids, if I had French fries in the car, I'm like, ooh. It's true. I throw them out the window because there goes Andrew again. It's watching him. Because they would just get, you know, I'm feeding the wild mice, right? Except what happens is that mice figure out that they should come to the side of the road to get that food. And then these guys figure out that they should hunt by the side of the road as well. And then unfortunately they get hit. So just don't throw food out of your car window and hold on to it until you get home. Chicagoland, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys. I know Miss Maeve. So Miss Maeve is a merlin. Like I said, she's about 3. She's been with us since she was a first-year bird. And most people don't see merlins. Most people know about our peregrine falcons. They're the fastest animal on the planet, diving at over 300 miles an hour. Absolutely phenomenal. And in our area, we also have the second smaller one. It's true, you're a merlin, the merlin falcons, but these guys, they're interesting. They're a little different than the rest of the falcon family. And then the smaller falcon that we have in the area is an American kestrel. So most people know the American kestrels because you'll see them on the wire, like the telephone wire. You'll see them hovering. It's true. You don't do that, do you? These guys are actually really cool. They cooperatively hunt. So one will sort of go through the bush and make all the birds fly out, flush them, if you will. There goes Andrew again. That's right. And then the other one will come and tag the whatever prey they want on the wing. They're absolutely fascinating. They are tiny but tough. They have been known, like I said, the Chihuahua of the falcon world. They've been known to go after buses, cars, trains, eagles, larger birds. So again, that sort of Napoleon-esque aspect of them. I know. Are you hungry? Part of what she's doing is she's hungry. I did want to wait a little bit before people signed on. Folks have been saying that they'd like to watch her eat. I have her food for her this morning, but we always like to preface it. Sometimes people wish for something and they're maybe not sure what that entails. So these guys are falcons. When they are eating, they can't take up a fork and a knife. So what I'll do is I'll pass her, it's a quail day today, so she's getting a quarter of a quail. I'll pass her her food. We'll see how she eats. Oftentimes she's rude when she eats. She mantles. It's true. You have poor manners, right? Do you want to see? All right, let's see. What have we got here? You can't go away. Oh my. So that's mantling. That's her being naughty. Or not naughty, just a little rude. It's okay. You do your thing. So she's going to go ahead and eat her meal. Did you get that? Are you very proud of it? You're so good. You're so lovely. I'm going to keep telling them about you while you have your breakfast. Okay? Okay. So I don't know if you can see her wings. Her wings are beautifully shaped. They're very, very much like a jet plane, if you will, because these guys are maneuvering really quickly through the air. They prefer to eat or catch their prey in the air. What do you think? Do you want a different piece? Oh, no, you got it. Okay. I'll wait. I'll move. You do your thing. Of course, now she won't eat. Of course, because she's Maeve, and that's what she does. Aren't you, my little love? I did mention that they hunt cooperatively, which is really amazing. Another really interesting thing about them that I just found out, you have a feather in your mouth. Are you going to eat it? Are you going to eat it? You just being bossy? You going to be a punk? That's what you do best, my love. So oftentimes we hear that birds are, they mate for life. These guys don't. They are loyal to each other during the breeding season. The female sits on the eggs. The male brings the food to the nest while she's incubating. However, 80% of them pick a different mate the next year, which I thought was really sort of fascinating to think about. All right, I'll move you. Okay. Yeah, there you go. How's that? I'm going to peruse through and see if I have any questions. I apologize for that. I got stuck on that. Millie is busting a gut over that chatter. Yeah, she is. Maeve has a lot to say. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Robin and Charlie from South Portland. Hi, Cash. Hi, Michelle. Andy, we're feeding her right now, but she's deciding she doesn't want to eat. Hi, Addie. Yeah, she's excited to eat. She's also just sort of excited in general. They're definitely streamlined, Perry. And Perry, if I giggle, it's because our peregrine falcon male is named Perry. And so whenever I think of peregrines, I think of the name Perry. So ironic that you are answering that. And thank you so much for donating. We really appreciate it. Jen Daniels, snowing New Hampshire. It's snowing right now. Absolutely. Maddie, hi from Mexico, Maine. I love that we have a Mexico, Maine. Andy, she is beautiful. Okay, so I've caught up on my get in there, on my questions. Everyone wants to see you eat, and you're just going to sit there and not eat. So this is a classic Merlin. Sort of like the Chihuahua, if you will. They do what they want, and that's sort of it. Perry wants to know how much she will eat. So we feed her based on her weight and based on the time of year and that sort of thing. Right now you can tell she's not super hungry because she's just sitting there holding the quail leg in her paw or in her foot. It's true. What if I go to take it? Oh, we're going to do a little mantle. Oh, you're a freshie. Well, you got to eat it. You going to eat it? I think you should. You're a silly goose. What are you talking about? Are you telling me that you killed this quail leg all by yourself because you're ferocious? It's true. It's amazing. So believe it or not, if she were stressed out, that call would be higher pitched and also more piercing, if you can imagine. We're actually out in the shed right now. Oh, thank you, Michelle, so much for donating. We really appreciate it. Maeve chatters her thanks at you as well. We're actually out in the shed because we have quite a few baby squirrels, and we actually have a whole bunch of baby opossums that we just got in. We also have a broad-winged hawk inside. We posted about that bird on our social media this morning. Unfortunately, it was shot. And we also just admitted a baby barred owl. Not a relaxing sound. So we adjust and we accommodate, right? So we're doing our talk out in the shed today so that we don't bother our patients inside, right? And again, she's not upset. She's not angry. She's not anything like that. She's just chatting. She's rather proud of herself. What is this? What is this? Hi, Ryan. Maeve says hello. Give me that. You gonna eat it? There you go. There you go. No, we're not. What if I take it? Okay. So she's kind of a funny little girl. Falcons are incredibly intelligent. They're also incredibly opinionated. And so whenever you want them to do something, generally they have their own opinion of it. You think you have two here. Would there be a nest nearby? And where do they typically nest, says Kesh. So the sound you might be hearing might be a broad-winged hawk, that really high-pitched call. These guys actually... Hello. Although your habitat, Kesh, where you are is pretty good because you have a really nice wide open space. Yeah. And then you also have some beautiful trees in that area. So these guys would sort of bum rush out of the trees and get the birds flying and then tag them as they go. What we love about them is, oh, okay, we're gonna go over this way. There you go. Good girl. Tasty. Here we go. Okay. I'll look away and pretend that you're not eating. And maybe you'll keep eating. So you might have a broadwing because they have a very like high-pitched call, piercing like this one. Hi, Jen Bragdon. However, these guys don't build their own nests. They actually take over crows' nests and things like that. And so you might find them there. And they're pretty secretive when they're in the woods. It's true, Maeve. But if you can't, these guys are also super fun to watch when it's migration time. And you'll get whole kettles of these guys just bombing along. It's really snowing outside right now, Maeve. It even took your breath away, didn't it? Wow. Okay. Well, that's okay. Oh, Tim, thank you so much for donating. We really appreciate that. And Maddie, yes, basically that's exactly what Maeve is saying. I hate being told what to do. It's true. You going to show them how you eat? I separated this. I gave you like the good stuff, man. So see how what she's doing right now is called mantling. I don't know if I can turn her and you can see. She's sort of covering everything up, sort of like a little kid when they're sitting on their toys. You know, nope, this is mine. You can't have it type of action, which is exactly what she's doing with this food. She's funny like that. She's not imprinted, but she's definitely comfortable around people. Again, falcons are really, really intelligent. And so it's kind of interesting to watch her figure folks out and figure out what they want to do. You want another piece? Oh, 2 pieces? All right, maybe we'll get her to eat now. You need to readjust. There you go. So what you're going to watch her do is really fascinating. I'm going to tell them. Yeah. So again, these guys can't take a fork and a knife and cut up their food. What they do is they use their feet like a fork, and they use that beautiful hooked beak like a knife, and they rip that meat into little tiny pieces. You know, occasionally they will swallow, prey hold, you know, big chunks of it or whatever else. But like, for instance, this quail is probably as big as she is. So we cut it up into smaller pieces. It's true. And so she'll eat it into smaller pieces. Oftentimes you'll also see them plucking. So what they'll do is they'll pluck the feathers off and then they'll eat the meat and some of the bone. But their body won't usually digest the feathers or the meat or the fur. And so they'll cough or expel a pellet or cast a pellet later on. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas, Lady Jane. So she's just going to take little tiny pieces of that meat, rip it right up. Ooh, we got a little bone in there, a little crunchy crunch. Good stuff. It's amazing to me to watch them eat. There is no leftovers when it comes to birds of prey. It takes them a lot of effort and energy to catch their food. They're not walking into a grocery store and picking up a pack of, chicken nuggets or hot dogs, or I mean that's a terrible analogy, but sort of simplifies what I'm getting at. They have to expend energy to catch their prey, and they oftentimes miss. So for folks that have bird feeders or bird baths or things like that, if you're upset that you have a bird of prey that is eating your birds, what we tell folks is that if you're going to feed the birds, you're going to feed all the birds, and that includes watching. If you don't want to watch nature take place, then just turn away. But it's definitely that was a good one. Are you getting right in there? Good girl. Oftentimes people will ask us if we feed them live prey. We do not feed them live prey. These guys are ambassador animals for a reason. They live with us because they have permanent disabilities. And so, if we were to try and give these guys live prey, that was gross. Thank you. That was very Freya-esque of you. Then that poses the potential for them to get injured. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to make a mess. I'm going to bleach everything down out here when we're done. Oh, but you're having fun. That's good. So it's really cool to watch her eat. And also the fact that she's doing natural behaviors right now, that plucking, the shredding, the sort of tossing everything away. This is really good for her. It's good for her brain. It's good for her digestive system. It's good for her beak. It's good for her ego. So she feels very important right now. Freya was our female peregrine falcon. Oh my, okay, it's a disaster out here. And she used to, I think, purposefully take guts and toss them on us, usually if we had like a nice dress or something on when we were feeding her. Sometimes that's just what they do, which is kind of a funny little thing. A neat thing about these guys is that they used to be called ladyhawks because this was considered a dainty bird to use in falconry. We do not do falconry here, but we certainly do use some techniques like these anklets and jesses and things like that, and positive reinforcement. Oh, don't. Yeah. What are you doing? Okay, there we go. She is a good plucker. We'll see. I don't think you can do that. It's good for her to have to work it out. So she has to figure out how she's going to get all those pieces and bits and bones. Right now she's going for tendons and things like that. And again, to us, it's like, ooh. But for her, this is Quail Day. They love Quail Day. It's like one of their favorite days. So it's sort of like, when you get your lobster for Mother's Day or something like that. So she's moving on to the next leg. Do you want, and we're mantling because I moved my hand. That's fine. Okay. We were so nice and quiet for so long. All right, I'll stop. There we go. All right. So these guys are actually quite common around the country. And they're in more of the northern hemisphere where they like up where we are in Maine, that sort of area. They will migrate down south. They're having a tough time. Their numbers, were pretty steady. They were affected by DDT just like our peregrine falcons were, which caused egg thinning and caused them to have a hard time procreating and having babies because the DDT interferes with these guys' abilities to make calcium. I know. It makes me upset too. It's true, but it happens. So many times people will say, it's an insecticide. How could it hurt a bird? Or it's a rodenticide or, whatever else. How could that hurt a bird? It's for rodents or it's for insects. We don't operate in a vacuum in our world. And so anything you put into the environment ends up getting into other aspects of the environment. Oh, that's a good plucking. Good job. You're going to like the next one. I think I have a little piece of breast meat for her. She loves this. Good girl. Nice work. Yeah, nice job. Proud of you. Look at you, Hunter. You're such a good hunter. Yeah. So what happens is, for instance, like with rodenticide, the people put rodenticide out that involves mouse poisons, rat poisons, things like that. It ends up killing the mice and rodents and things. But then these guys also eat those mice, and then it builds up in their system. So just like if we talk about like if you're pregnant in the United States, it's recommended that you, I know I had to move my hand. My hair got in the way. I'm sorry. Apologies. Okay. All right. I'm not going to take your food. I might give you more if you're nice, though. Oh, wow. It's really windy and snowing now. It's only May. It's okay. We'll get there. It's all fine. Lil wants to know how high they can fly. So that's a great question. When these guys are migrating, they're way, way, way high up, and they cook along in these kettles and groups. But in this area, they don't tend to fly very high, especially when they're nesting and that sort of thing. I don't think... You want me to hold it? No, you get mad. Okay, there you go. I really don't want you to swallow that whole. You're still going to keep trying. Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. She says it's mine. There you go. Get the tendons. That's what you're supposed to do. Do you want your last piece? Okay. Oh, I'm pretty sure that went into my jacket sleeve. That's disgusting. There's this piece. Good girl. We'll go ahead and eat some there. Oh my goodness. We're turning around. Let's see. Arlene Shea. No way. That's too funny. Arlene Shea runs Farm Friends. You know, it's so great to see you on here, Arlene. I hope that you are doing really well. And you are doing magnificent work too. And hi, Miller. We hope you're doing well. Trying to pick up all the pieces here. There we go. I got distracted because she was trying to swallow a leg whole, and I shouldn't have been distracted, but there it is. What do we think about you? We were talking about diets. So in the United States, like I was saying, when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to eat tuna fish more than once a week or once a month, or I don't know what the regulations are now. But they do that because mercury and stuff adds up. It's true. Adds up in the tuna fish, and that can add up in us as well. A cumulative effect, if you will. And that's what happens with insecticides, rodenticides, and things like that. So unfortunately, it really affects these guys. They have a very difficult time. Rodenticide poisoning is a terrible way. It's very painful to watch. It's heartbreaking to watch. And so what we urge people to do is really look at organic ways of gardening and pest control, if you will. Okay, all right. You want one more piece? You're very cranky today. Okay, bossy Betsy. Gross. So natural, ways of pest control, diatomaceous, I'm not going to say it right, diatomaceous earth. It's great to get rid of like slugs and things like that, but it's not hurting the rest of the animals that are sharing that environment and perhaps eating the animals that you're poisoning. Just because you can buy it, I know I had to move my hair again, I'm sorry. Just because you can buy it in a box store or any store doesn't necessarily mean that it's okay to put out in the environment. So what we tell folks is, try, if you have rodent problems, snap traps. If you have, some sort of insect issue going on in your yard, maybe look at the plants and the soil and, working with it naturally to make sure that you can monitor and make sure that your environment and that you're stewarding is healthy and happy as well. Oh, we're really getting in there. Good job, Miss Maeve. There you go. So again, for folks just tuning in, her name is Maeve. She is a merlin falcon. We're eating all the feathers. There we go. And she is an absolutely magnificent ambassador that lives with us here at the center. So she's about 3. Most people haven't seen merlins in the wild before. They're pretty secretive. The males are actually pretty beautiful. They have a slate blue, or not a slate blue, like a darker back. And ironically, the females are actually a little bit larger than the males. It's called reverse sexual dimorphism. And the purpose for that is that these lovely ladies will sit on their nest and defend their babies while the males are out getting food and things for them. So it makes sense for the females to be a little bit bigger, a little more substantial, and able to protect their babies. Oh, what are you protecting? You protecting that yumminess? There you go. Good girl. It's really the only time she's quiet is when she's eating, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I deserved that. Huh, my friend? There you go. You're so funny. Good morning, Kim. She is feisty today. She's feisty every day. It's kind of one of my favorite things about them is that they really... they have their own opinion, and they definitely like it heard, which is good. I prefer when you have a spirited animal. It means that they are feeling good and they're feeling comfortable enough to be themselves. Oh, Susan, yeah, my dogs go bananas if they hear this on a call or on my computer or anything like that. And they're just crazy. Oh, Nora, she misses you too. We miss you. I hope that you're doing well. Nora was one of our interns. We miss her very much. You'll have to come back and visit us sometime soon, okay? And thank you again for everyone that's donated. I can't tell you how much and how helpful that is for us here at the center. It's true. It helps us to get that quail that you're eating right now. Isn't it delicious? You say thank you. One of the things I love most about her, I'll try and put her closer. She says, no, I don't like that, is those beautiful dark, dark, dark eyes. When she kind of slims herself down or pulls her feathers in, her eyes look like they take up most of her skull. And she's just absolutely magnificent. And this little tiny lady falcon, if you will, is what they call her. Are you looking out there at the snow? Yeah. So when all of this passes again, I know, Maeve, we have made quite the mess. We're gonna bleach everything down after, huh? Yeah. When all of this has passed and we're able to open up again, Maeve is one of our ambassadors that is on display in an outdoor enclosure. So not only does she travel around to programmings and things like that, kids always think she's hilarious because she's quite chatty. Oh yeah, Patty, I bet. Yeah, the dogs always try to find them and even look behind the screens on the computers. It's pretty funny. But she's one of our most chatty ambassadors when people come to visit. And she, again, just sort of, she's funny. She'll do this thing where I don't want to move right now because she's right in the middle of eating, but she'll take one wing and kind of hang it down low like, hey, what's up? And then she'll do this little call to people when they go by. You'll definitely hear her before you'll see her. And she's just really a magnificent, magnificent lady, aren't you? Yeah. Look at you. Now what do you see? You never look around like that. Well, you're sitting backwards on the glove, but I wasn't gonna tell anybody that you were being fresh. What do you think? Can I put you a little closer? So I don't know if you guys can see while she's eating. Oh, let's not get that on my phone. Okay, it's on my phone. We're gonna bleach my phone too. Okay. They also have this really cool, the inside, there's feathers everywhere right now. The inside of her mouth is also really dark, which is really beautiful. And just that beautiful eye ridge. I mean, you can just see she's very regal, very almost menacing looking. But she's an absolute sweetheart. And she's funny. She's just this staunch opinion. She lets everybody know what she's feeling and how she's feeling it. And makes no apologies for what she's doing. Oh, Constance, look out chickens she's done with her quail. She does get, occasionally we do mix in, we give them a variety in diet, our raptors, and that includes things like mice and rats, guinea pigs, rabbits, and also chicks and quail. And in addition to that, the age of that chick or quail is also, it has a lot of different nutrients and things packed in. So occasionally they will get day-old quail, and that helps because that yolk sac is in there, and it mimics a little bit more of the variety and diet that she would have. Kesh parent, how big is she? She is not crow size. She's actually, believe it or not, a little smaller than a pigeon. Her long tail and long wings will sort of give her a larger size reference, I guess, if you will. But can I turn so that they can see these beautiful wings? Since you're sitting on the glove the wrong way. Their wingspan is about 20 to 23 inches. And she weighs, and again, the females will weigh more than the males. She weighs around 230 grams. So again, their bones are hollow. These guys are built to cut through the air like a little jet airplane. And they're just phenomenal animals. Christine, why is she unreleasable? She came to us in 2017 after she was struck by a vehicle. When she would, you're not going to fit that down there. Yeah, you got it. Yep. Nope, still not going to do it. There you go. She had been hit by a vehicle. And unfortunately, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's about half of the intakes that we get in are animals being struck by cars. So in Maeve's case, she broke an area right by her wrist. And because of that, when it healed a little, the way it was broken and the fact that their bones are hollow. Oh, that was substantial. Okay. Made it so that even though she has some limited flight, she doesn't have the perfect flight that she would need to succeed out in the wild and hunt and things like that. You wouldn't, if you were to go to get on a jet plane, wow, that was a big one. And say, someone was like, well, I mean, the wing broke, but we super glued it back together. It should be good enough. You wouldn't want to get on that plane. And so you have dropped both legs in my cuff. That's disgusting. There you go. You're naughty. Let's see. Does she, I just knocked over that. Sorry, guys. Does she need a long way to lift and fly off like hawks? Asks Perry. And eagles and other raptors. No, they're actually much more agile. Absolutely. That's a great question. Oh, Steve Marshall, thank you so much for donating. That is incredibly, don't you bite my finger. If you can reach my finger, you can reach the foot. You're gross and sassy, but I like it. There you go. You got it. Good girl. So she will continue to just pick away. Now she's just being a goofball and being silly. Yeah, well, if you want it, you can have it. There you go. So yeah, these guys are definitely super agile. If you keep in mind what they're hunting things like sparrows and, smaller birds like that. And so they need to be able to keep up with those birds. So lots of bursts of energy. They do prefer to hunt on the wing. And you're so gross. There you go. But they definitely don't need, like, for instance, I don't know if anyone of you have seen the pictures of the condors when they release them out, like in California or places. Oh, Deborah, thank you so much for donating. It means so much. You guys it helps us so incredibly. With all this COVID, we've had to cancel all of our programming and things like that. So not only do we miss seeing everyone, but that's also one of our main sources of income that helps to supplement. I'm not reaching over there because you'll bite me because you're kind of nippy. Are you nippy? Here, how about that? Okay. So these Facebook Lives, you're so bad. Whenever anybody tunes in, and you help us to feel like we're still back doing our work and in person again, and the donations help support both this young lady and also we're going to see close to probably 2,000 wild animals in our clinic this year. And so the donations, every donation from $1 up to $500. And oh, Jennifer, yes. Is there any way you can donate off of Facebook, mail, or PayPal? 100%. If you go to our website, I know, but you've made a huge mess, and now you don't want to eat anymore. If you go to our website at www.thecenterforwildlife.org, there are many links that you can find to donate. And there's lots of different ways to donate too, that you can donate financially with a monetary gift. There's also wish list items for folks that, if you have like Amazon Smile or something like that. You can also donate. We are in the process of finishing up our new facility, our future facility, I guess, if you will. And so we're really working hard on that too. So if folks are interested in donating items towards our new nature center, mini medical clinic, anything like that, again, if you go on to, it's true, if you go onto our website at www.thecenterforwildlife.org, you can find out all the different ways that you can donate there. You can also actually sponsor this little sassy pants lady, and she's available through our Adopt an Ambassador program. And so you sponsor her for a year. It's a one-time payment of $25 for the whole year. We just sent a bunch out for Mother's Day. They were wonderful Mother's Day cards and gifts. Who's that pretty lady in there that you see? You see yourself? You got a little smudge. That's okay. So you can adopt her for a year, and you get a beautiful card, and you get her natural history and her personal history as well. Perry, you're wondering where the new facility will be. It's literally right next door to our old facility. Our last expansion was in the early 90s. Our only expansion was in the early 90s. And we're busting at the seams at our current facility. And while we have loved, oh, that's a nice rouse. Okay, we're settling in. Gonna preen now? That'd be cool. We're nice and full. We have loved and used our facility to the best of our ability, but it has things like wood floors, it's on standing water, and all of those things. And so it's just not good for the humans that work there or the animals that we're working with. It's true, Maeve. So this new facility we've been working towards for years and years and years, and it is literally right next door to us, and it will offer, you can check out again on the website, the www.thecenterforwildlife.org, and you can look at renditions of it if you check our social media. We have lots of Facebook lives from there. Or did you drop more food in my cup? That's gross. I don't like that. It's so yucky. Where are you going? You mad? And what's really exciting is that we'll be able to welcome people on site, because, when you can get up next close to one of these lovely ladies, it's amazing. And it helps you to see them as individuals, not just, species, and things like that, because they are all individuals. They all have feelings and connections and families and all of those things. So the opportunity to reach an even wider audience and connect them with our wildlife and with our environment is something that we are incredibly humbled and super excited to be able to offer. This is not, okay, we're done. We can be done, absolutely. Right, Miss Thing? I love it, I love it. Amy, she is beautiful. I think she might know that she's beautiful too, which I respect that, Maeve. You should know that you're beautiful and let everyone know, right? Why not? Can I turn so I can show them your wings? So you can see that crisscross in the back of those wings, these beautiful long primary feathers. So that just helps you to see just how sharp the wing is, as opposed to like the broad wing that helps them to soar and that sort of thing. So she's definitely an active hunter. She is a burst of energy, and like I've said, they will ambush their prey, and they do work cooperatively to hunt as well, which is super, super exciting. Right, my lovey-do? What else? Did I have other information that I wanted to share about you? I think this was it. I think that was it. And now you've eaten, and you're comfy, and you're kind of quiet. Maeve, this never happens. Guys. And there it is. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to go put this lovely lady back so that she can finish digesting her food and just relax and, snuggle up in the snow. But is she the one perched a lot in the office when I've brought supplies? Heather, usually she's not in the office because of her voice. We have had in the past, our female peregrine, Freya, was the one that was usually in the office. We lost Freya last year. She had ovarian cancer and had lived a very long and happy life with us. She was the boss lady, to say the least. So close, related, as they are both falcons. But this one's vocal range doesn't allow for quiet and calm in our office. So you don't normally come in. It's why we're doing our thing out in the shed today, because you're loud, right? Is it good? All right. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again to all of you that donated. We really appreciate it. She's looking for more food and there's no more food. And we really appreciate you tuning in. Please tune in again tomorrow. We're planning on some pretty cool, fun, exciting Facebook Lives for June, and adding a little bit to the repertoire, as well as still including our ambassadors. So, right? Can you say thanks and goodbye? And now that I've asked you to say something, you won't say anything? Yep, that's classic Maeve. All right, Miss Maeve. You say thank you. Bye, guys. Take care of yourselves.